Hi guys, today I'll be reviewing Codename Verity by Elizabeth Wein. This is a YA historical fiction, and it is set during World War II and tells a story of two young women approximately in their 20s. One is Maddie, she's a rather skilled pilot, and there's her friend Queenie, sort of an undercover agent. The story is split into two points of view, the second part being told by Maddie. The first part is being told by a woman who is held captive by the Nazis, and she's being forced to kind of reveal information, wireless code, airbase locations, and things like that. And she's being forced to write out this information, which she kind of drags out in the form of a story about Maddie and Queenie and their relationship and how they got together, interspersed with the information that is being required of her. She's basically dragging out the process as long as possible to kind of delay, I suppose, the inevitable. And it's very moving and kind of chilling as she's writing the story. You learn a lot about Maddie and Queenie as the relationship develops. A relationship that probably wouldn't have developed outside of the war because they're kind of from two different classes. Queenie's sort of an aristocrat from an aristocratic family, and they might not have met otherwise, but circumstances have brought them together. And I really love that this is basically a story about their friendship more than it is about the war, and it plays a very prominent part throughout the story. It's also very chilling in terms of the person, telling the story in the beginning, because through her writing you're also learning about the torture that she's facing at the hands of the guards, and how her fellow prisoners look upon her as a bit of a collaborator for giving information where none of the others are even talking, and such hardship that she has to face. Through the course of Maddie and Queenie's friendship, they share their fears, fears that they, in a way, kind of face throughout the course of this story. And one of my favorite parts is a line that Maddie tends to use sort of to bolster her bravery in times of stress. It's, "Fly the plane, Maddie, fly the plane." It's just a way of like focusing her attention and not worrying about everything else. It's like scaring her basically to death, and just fly the plane. It's very emotional, very moving. I had some issues with the beginning of this book in terms of who was telling the story. There's a lot of use of anonymous names, nicknames throughout, where some characters have multiple names, and they need that to kind of hide their identity when they go behind the lines and things like that. And it made it confusing as to who was telling the story, and it sort of revealed, and then everything became clear. The pacing at the beginning is somewhat slow. You get into a little bit too much technical information about planes and things, about flying and the technical aspects about the planes that didn't really interest me, but once I kind of got through that and I realized who was telling the story, and the whole story just sort of opened up. And there's some very emotional, moving moments later in the book as well, and it definitely made it worth picking up. Overall, I gave this story 4 stars, again, because of the pacing a little bit in the beginning and some of the confusion aspects, but it is definitely worth picking up, and if you do, stick with it, because you will find it definitely worth reading as you continue with it. So I am considering picking up Rose Under Fire, which is apparently a sequel. I'm not sure if it's continuing with those characters or a companion novel, but there is another book in this series. So I definitely recommend this. I hope you decide to pick it up and give it a try. And if you have read it, let me know down below what you thought. Keep it spoiler-free, and thanks for watching.